Welcome back, guys. How's everyone? Welcome to another stream. Welcome to another pre-market analysis. Did you guys had a good day today? It was one of the boring ECB press conferences that I remember. The lack of movement on the euro. It was just in compression moving down. It was first of all during the interest rate announcement, basically price didn't move, and then during the during the press conference as well, it was quite slow, almost no movement. Again, no surprise, right? So she said what she said, what everyone was expecting. So we'll see in September if we do have another rate cut or not. One thing I was wrong, which is I said that it was mostly about the euro. Looks like it was still about the dollar this at least today as well. It was initially boring. Again, the market was quite flat, just compressing down a little bit with the pound, with the euro, with ounce a little bit, and now finally it looks like it to gain some momentum now in the evening. It tends to happen sometimes like this. Every single move was up and down, up and down, up and down, and now finally price gaining some momentum. So we'll see where the price is going to stop. It looks like that price indeed end up respecting that level that we had in there, that we mentioned, and this was already a little bit of a PI to turn. I was still looking slightly lower. It didn't happen. Price just on the dollar index just started to move to the upside. Yeah, we'll see if this day now is going to be a second move upwards, or how price is going to react within this range. That's basically what you'll be looking for in here on the dollar index at this point. You do have a little bit of the supply. It's not the best. We can definitely still test a little bit from this level. So we'll see how price is going to navigate towards this level. And yeah, we can maybe just navigate something like this, or come back into this level, or eventually get into that that level, that high in there. In terms of news tomorrow, again, nothing in US. We have retail sales in the UK, and then retail sales as well in Canada. So nothing in the US aside from Fed member Williams going to speak. But yeah, that's already in the evening. So there you go. Like the turn again overall since the beginning of the week, or since Sunday when I did the weekly market analysis, we were expecting something like that. We're expecting first and foremost. What do you say the expression? First of all, we were expecting the lows to be taken. We're expecting that bearish move on the dollar, and then the question mark it will be price. We could react from there, from here, or eventually from there. It reacted from there. It created PA, and it turned. So it is what it is. Something else that we looked, as we'll see in a bit, it was with the euro index. It happened exactly as we were looking for as well. And the end pairs as well, finally turning a little bit. That was something that I was looking as well, potential returns. We mentioned yesterday, and you'll see. So for tomorrow, I don't really have any clear buys at this point in here. I could see dollar going there, or retesting one of these levels. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen from here. Yeah, price maybe can retest this level again with these left shoulders in here. That can be also a good level to potentially look for a continuation. Just price retesting something in here and then moving. That could also happen in there. So we'll see again with this momentum, where is price going to stop for the next 1 or 2 hours, and then where it's going to be tomorrow in here. But at this point, not exactly clear bias in here. Something that happened in here, it was also something that we mentioned, which was the turn on the indices, right? So since last week we looked at this low as a break, so that was a higher time frame clue that this could be happening in here. So there you go, a range in here today expected. Honestly, price reached that first target at the month zone, but as we mentioned yesterday, this low was already a break. Nasdaq had already broken the lows, and S&P followed through today. It reacted from this PI in here, so there you go. Move to downside. I actually tried to short Dow and it was one of those that there was no retest when price turned. Unfortunately, price just which it crashed after the compression. And Nasdaq also continuation to the downside. So we talked about yesterday as well that most likely there could be some PA being created within this range before price eventually can go all the way through. So the PA happened in here with these highs, lows, and so on and so forth. Right, so we had this basically high, price broke the low, kind of retest all the way, some kind of PA manipulation happening somewhere in here. That was what we were expecting, and it's typical to look for these mid-range movements with price creating some kind of liquidity system. Basically, since we don't have any clear highs in here or lows, whatever, for price to fake out in order to create liquidity, price needs to create its own liquidity. Let's just say like that, right? So, and that's basically what happens sometimes in here in the middle. Since there is nothing in here that price maybe could use to fake out, whatever it may be, or in here any low, price needs eventually to create its own liquidity just to resume the move to the downside, right? To accumulate some kind of orders before moving to the downside. It gives the idea that maybe price is ready to turn from here. Not exactly. Price actually just continues to move lower, and it feels out this compression. Okay, feel out this compression again, similar to the S&P. We had that low already being broken, kind of showing the indication you want to go lower, and from here we'll see. Now it has been already a few days moving downside. Yesterday was one of the worst days, minus 2.9% or something like that. And Nasdaq today is around almost 1% negative as well. So this week it was been quite negative for Nasdaq. Therefore, let's see if tomorrow we finishes the week again negative, or if we are going to have a little bit of a retracement. I wouldn't be surprised if we start having some kind of retracement somewhere from, I don't know, somewhere from here or somewhere even somewhere in there. Okay, so we could have something like that. So price let it compress a little bit more. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow, and then tonight, and then we may have a little bit of a correction in here. Again, just too many consecutive bearish days in here and quite strong, to be honest. So we'll see. Or it will be just a continue follow through, because honestly, if I'm just looking at PA in here, nothing really stands out to me at this point in here with these lows. We actually broke that demand zone that can now still be used eventually as a continuation to the downside. Or maybe it was already. We have the base of that level as well. So that in here, there could be more PA to the downside. So you can take that low for sure. Maybe can create some liquidity below that low, something in here. But then we have all these lows as well. Price can already start moving to the downside in here. So again, we'll see what's going to happen somewhere in there. And then Dow, like Dow was the one that I really tried to short at the top. I didn't really had anything in particular to look for around the US Open. Again, the Euro pairs, I didn't really provide anything with ECB. It was basically dead. So I looked at the indices, and in my opinion, this level in here could have already been an interesting level to look for a short in there. So I started to follow the PI. I saw the big move to the upside. I noticed that price basically stopped a bit in the middle in here, and maybe there was still this space in here to be filled. And there you go. Then I start noticing as well a little bit of correlation with the S&P and Nasdaq. Finally, they start to move a little bit in alignment. But there you go. This was the move, and there was no retracement. So I was looking back literally for price to react somewhere in there. Unfortunately for me, there was no move. There was like literally just a 50 seconds move in there between breaking this low and retest and go in here. I was looking at the tick charts as well, and there is literally just a small break in there. Price basically retest and go, but this was exactly the top, right? So that would be a little bit more riskier to go straight away. Just focus on almost a tick chart break to consider that as a trigger. Price could maybe make a little bit more of a new high. I really enjoyed the compression here. I noticed price compressing. I could see price rejecting. I was looking for price at least to have some kind of retracement somewhere in here. It didn't. It just literally moved to the downside, created one candle, and then started to react somewhere in there. Now, you could have maybe looked for more entries in here. We broke the low, so again, then we're looking for this. But I do struggle a little bit more looking for trades a bit in the middle. It's not my favorite. Again, you do have a KM in here, so you could have traded something in there, that's for sure. But my my idea is always around this direction here, closer to the highs, going to look for this initial trade. And especially if price doesn't really, or if leaves these levels behind, then I'm always wondering if price does want to make that last spike up before moving down. It didn't happen. Price just respected something in here in the middle, and it crashed, and then all of a sudden it was a massive trend, and there was potential for that. As I mentioned, we kind of had this low in the middle of nothing. Price actually showed a lot of intention to go down, did a quick reversal in here during the US Open, and yeah, this was a typical move that we have seen so many times now with the indices. It started to show victory intention to go down, but it has one last spike up before then moving to the downside. And now it broke out this level as well, and the Dow now is also showing some bearish moves. It's finally in alignment with the other US indices, because they've been a little bit divergent in the last few days. And there you go. Let's see if it's going to fill all the way back to this level, which is closer to this double top in here that we had the previous halftime highs in there. Again, it can retrace, can go there. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, that was one that yeah, I just noticed in the moment, and it would have been a great trade. In here again, it was another potential continuation. I was not looking at the market anymore in here. Yeah. All right, so we'll see more continuation. Yeah, DAX not really paying attention to it. Crypto as well. It was nice reaction in here on Ethereum. So that was a really nice level, something that we were looking for. That level it looked fresh to me. Price already started breaking lows, still respecting the high. So that looked nice. And I haven't really been trading in crypto. Some of the guys, they did manage to catch that move, so that's a good job for them. BTC as well, it was similar. I was looking for price to go slightly higher. Price just respected this supply. I preferred actually the Ethereum one, but price is starting to show some reversals as well in here. Our retracement now, the deeper retracement here on BTC. And this was one of the key levels to see if price actually is going to eventually breaking above, starts aiming to go to the upper side of this level, respecting that level, starts breaking below, you can maybe retest this around 60k mark, 59k mark in there. And then the one that was the big in theory could have been the highlight of the day, which was the Euro index, but it didn't, right? Basically price just ranged in here. That's not normal. This is definitely not a normal move that we usually see during the ECB press conference. Usually there is a lot of movement in here in the Euro index in days like today, but it didn't happen. It was boring. It was just ranging. Again, this actually is moving up when euro dollar is actually moving down. Again, it's because the euro yen actually is moving to the upside. So apparently euro yen is quite a lot of weight on this euro index. I can still see price going somewhere in there and then moving down. We did manage to break some lows in here, so that could still happen. We'll see. But again, since the beginning of the week, that's what we mentioned. We wanted to see this level in here being taken. It was, and price start moving lower. So that was also a good prediction, and we can use that information to look for something. And then the end pairs, we talked about yesterday, the way price was starting to compress in here. It looked like it could be close to a reversal after so many as well bullish days. Initially looking a little bit somewhere in here, but then price actually went a bit more to the extreme, to the highs, which is nice. And we start having this turn. I was actually looking for price to go slightly higher, which is nice that actually left this level behind. So this level in here can still be used in the future. We already broke this level as well, so back into something in here, and we do have this level fresh in there. So that's nice to look for in here on the yen index. Price can definitely fake out that high in here and react from the supply above it and move down as well. Now it just broke this low as well. So that's really nice to look for in there. So yeah, that's something to pay attention on the end pairs in here. Now moving along and actually looking for the individual currency pairs, right? So there you go. So we're looking at the euro. We're looking for shorts on the euro. We mentioned yesterday that price was reacting from a good level. It could still go slightly higher, but again, I was looking actually for one of these spikes to go slightly higher somewhere in here. It never happened. Price just spiked in here and here and here, and eventually just moved down really slow. It was like one of the most, like the biggest compressions that you could see in here. Perfect compression on the way down. This was during the press conference. This is, again, it's not that often that we see something like that. Usually there could be proper candles in here, similar to this, but it didn't. It was just proper compression to downside. We start noticing that price tries to go higher, it doesn't manage to. Eventually the move is basically to go down and to fill this price in there. And now it can go further down. It can definitely go even further down in here on the 1 second, why not? Okay, 1 second. Okay, second. All right, you can see it now. All right, so it was not available. All right, it's now. All right, so I was talking about the euro. So yep, so euro react from that level. We talked about it. I was looking for price to break slightly up, pick out above this highs. It just respected that level, and then it just compressed on the way down in here. And yes, after seeing that price was not managing to go higher, eventually the tendency to be just to go down, at least fill this price. And now with some more momentum, it can go all the way. So this can be the beginning. Again, this can be the beginning of a new cycle in here. Price has been bullish all this way. In my opinion, we kind of broke into this compression. So even though this was a really good level that was still fresh, we can see it on the, I think it's on the daily, yep, daily time frame. It's really good. It was still fresh where price is reacting. It's just curious to see how price may react from somewhere in here now. Because just in terms of theory, since price broke into this compression, eventually price wants to go there, and eventually can even go there, as I mentioned. But for now, it could retrace a little bit more before maybe resuming the move to the upside. So that's going to be interesting to see. Maybe some more continuation in here, challenging this low, or eventually something within this demand zone in there on the euro. So to be honest, it depends where the euro is going to open tomorrow. If it's going to be somewhere in here, maybe there's going to be some kind of PI to push down. If by any chance price go, I don't really think that price is going to go all the way up there. If it just continues to go slightly lower, maybe from here we can look for some PI actually to go long in here. It's kind of a nice left, nice KM zone in there that maybe price can still respect something in there to look for longs. Otherwise, you are looking already for price to go even further down. But yeah, this level, it may still be something in there to look for. So that's something to pay attention somewhere in here on the euro. Let it go down, and we'll see how price may react from there. Pound, yeah, pound just continues. It just literally continues. I did realize that this was something that we talked about on Sunday, something that we talked about during the week. That we wanted to see, like it was this high has been taken into a little bit of this, one of these supply levels that was a little bit above it. So we had cleared this high, we had more structure, and we talked about that on Monday, Tuesday, since Sunday as well, that price would create some kind of pain here. It's actually a nice intention to go down, and then all of a sudden it just makes that strong move up and starts reversing. Now I was looking actually for price to still go at least retest this level this morning, but it didn't. It just created this range and it dropped, which now leaves this level for the future. Okay, so this now becomes, we call it kind of a zone 4 of a move in here that we're looking for, and now we eventually are going to have a zone 2 type of a move, which is eventually when price comes back into here and can create like that for a potential continuation in here. So that eventually is going to be a move to be looking for. At this point, looking for price to break below this low, not really expecting anything in there. And this demand zone in here, I think that's going to be reasonable to expect price to eventually go there. Yeah, so let it just go again. As you can see, compressed, it compressed, it compressed, it compressed, it compressed, and now finally gaining some kind of momentum in here. It already kind of spiked into that level just before it dropped. I already have some kind of PA around here, which is going to be interesting as a future level. But yeah, just keep respecting even this trend line as well as it was moving down in here. And yeah, we do create this structure in here, and that small fake out in there. Yeah, we had unemployment in the UK. I think it was slightly higher than expected. Yeah, so at this point, looking for price to get into here, and we'll see what's going to happen afterwards, after taking these lows in here, with the potential eventually back into something in here to look for something in there. So that was one that we were looking for. We've been looking for that. So nice turn, nice little turn in here, and there you go. Like the manipulation, the accumulation of liquidity in there, push up and then move down. And now we are looking even for a zone 2 type of move, as I mentioned, something in there. Euro pound, it was another one that we're looking for. It start turning, and let's see what's going to happen in here. Maybe this is already the turn to eventually push higher. That was something that we also mentioned, the potential fake out, the move to the upside in there. Aussie also just resumed the move down again. That was a bit expected. It was not really something that I was looking for, but we already broken the low, so eventually the expectation is to move down. Another one that we were looking for before, it was a pound Aussie. And we were looking initially for a potential reversal in here. Again, it happened overnight with the interest rate, with the unemployment in Australia first, and then in the UK. So there you go. It filled the target. So the target was in here for that turn. Beautifully done. And now price basically just resuming the move to the upside, or let's say price may react from one of these levels. But in my opinion, I think price still wants to go higher. This was just a break to the upside. Price now retesting to the demand zone, now I'm to that level, and I think price eventually wants to go still higher. I don't think this high is the final destination. I think this is just again a break before price resuming. Just as I mentioned the other day as well, that usually price ends up faking out something before resuming the move to the upside. So that's what we are going to be looking for in here on the pound Aussie. Euro Aussie as well, it looks like it wants to continue to move to the upside in there. And then looking at the end pairs, like, so there you go, you have the first turnarounds in here. So we talked about that demand zone as well. Initially it was a little bit this one, but then we actually changed our minds into this one. There's a really nice KM zone in there as well, nice demand zone, and that was left. Again, it was overnight. Fortunately, we had the compression, push down, and then we're looking for price to get a bit more in there. It didn't just react from this level, go up. So again, let's see how price may react now, these EN pairs, but nice reaction. Again, the compression just before that we talked about yesterday, it looked nice, and fortunately, and the move happened overnight in there. So we'll see tomorrow. Can go a little bit more towards this level. Again, can retest in here as well. And it has been a yen move, basically, because all the yen pairs are behaving exactly the same way. Look at the euro yen as well. So it went below that spike into this demand zone, another level that we looked for. Again, overnight one more time. As you can see, euro yen actually moving higher, while euro dollar, for example, is moving to the downside. So it was not exactly a euro move, as you can see in here. Pound yen doing exactly the same thing. Not sure if this is the final destination. I think eventually could create new lows, but for now that's enough for price to retest in here. Yeah, and then the CAD pairs, which has been one of the key pairs that we have been looking for this week. So we looked at pound, again, dollar CAD, still expectation for price to go there. So let it create manipulation, nice reaction from this left shoulder once again. And now just momentum to the upside, so holding there, and eventually looking for price to get slightly higher in here. So that's the expectation. And then you are looking at the other CAD pairs, right? So again, pound CAD, price was somewhere in here. We're talking again, we mentioned that high. It was a really good high where price is reacting from in here, and you can definitely have a big turn from there. I did realize that maybe price would just start moving lower from here. When you do have the closing last night, price actually kind of gapped to downside. This looks like, yeah, price is ready actually to break this above low and start moving lower and feel this range. Unfortunately, again, I'm still looking for a potential retrace to that level. Didn't really happen. Price also didn't really react now from this level. Expectation at this point, personally, is actually to break below this low. So it's just to continue to move slightly lower. Let's see how price reacts from this month zone. But I think price eventually could go start showing the signs that it wants to go lower. And after that, just the same thing as I mentioned on the pound dollar, we can have on the pound card some kind of PA around here. Okay, we could have some kind of PA around this level, just maybe take some lows in here and starts moving to the upside in here, and then yeah, something like that could work, and then price just moves to the downside in there, right? Breaking a key level of structure somewhere in there. So that could work in here, maybe not as much in there to the upside, maybe just in here, faking out these highs. Maybe that's the level to look for on the pound card. But yeah, first definitely needs to break this demand zone in here. And then the euro card as well. Euro card is another one that we're looking eventually for the turn. We talked about yesterday. This was a target that we're looking for, and look at price slowly turned. Again, it just moved to downside. Again, looking price slightly higher. Never reacted from it this morning. Just kind of kept respecting this supply level in there, and it reached the target. So this level, we talked about it. It reached the target. Personally, not sure if this is the last high. I still expect eventually euro card to go slightly higher. But now it reached the target in here. So we'll see what's going to happen from this level. Is price going up, or eventually price will just resume also the move to the downside. All this is basically compressed. So yeah, that target that we talked about yesterday, done, checked in there. Entry, not exactly. It was not exactly there to look for it. So yeah, within this range, again, now is wait and see to see what's going to happen around this level. Yeah, pound card again, dollar card, sorry, as I mentioned, let's see how price may eventually get closer to one of these zones. Can just even retest and push higher again. It's a different type of opportunity right now. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss is also turning, so it fake out this mid-range low. It didn't really fake out that level. That's the one that I was looking for, or expecting if still price to eventually get into this demand zone. It never happened. Price just fake out the level, start turning to the upside, and there you go. Right, so basically turned, kind of reacted from this level in here during the London Open, and now it's moving to the upside. I was still looking for price to go slightly more. Slightly lower. It didn't. Yeah, so nice. Let's see how price now feels this compression, and eventually can even go there. But for now, yeah, we'll see how price may react from here. This level here can also be important. This is kind of the end of this compression. Yeah, as you can see, price basically already reacted from it in there. Yeah, but nice turn. Again, it's the dollar move as well, kind of goes in alignment with this dollar franc Swiss. So we'll see what's going to happen somewhere in here. So at this point, which dollar is actually in control. I was not really expecting that, but it's happening in there. Gold initially reacted from that level that we had as well, but there you go. At this point, respecting this level, about to break something more in there. Again, this is the key level in here on gold, in my opinion. Still in the bigger picture is to see if actually this level is going to be broken or not. It's not just that mid-range in there, it's a bit more into here. That was the initial reaction from support resistance, but do they have then the demand in there? So we'll see what's going to happen in here on gold. At this point, it looks like it's moving a bit more to the downside in there. And then oil, it was yeah, oil. Well, there was a great short opportunity straight away in the London Open from that supply that we talked about. Initially we talked about that level, but we also looked at this level. For some reason, in one of the servers that I have, price was in here, it was not there. So I kind of was a bit confused which one to trust, which data to trust, because one of them basically price, the high was in here, and it was not yet reacting from this level. This was my favorite in there. So meanwhile, again, just moved down. This one actually retraced. It was actually a good timing in there. It was a bit in doubt which PI, because if this one, for example, still wanted to go to that level, then maybe this one would still go higher. It would be just yeah, one of those. But yeah, nice move to the upside the other day, and good reaction all the way to the supply level with the KM zone in there. So that's perfect. It was still fresh, that level. Good reaction from it, and now it can move to downside again. To be honest, it doesn't even need to go there. And let's not forget that this level in here, this lows actually managed to break these lows. So price could just retest all the way to the high that managed to make all this move down. React from it, and maybe can just resume the move down from here. So if price breaks that level, for sure I'm looking for eventually oil to go a bit more towards that zone. Now price just reacted from the previous level support resistance in here with this supply. So now it's a bit in the middle. Yeah, this morning it was actually quite interesting. When he did the stream yesterday, I was not really expecting price to go all the way, but price literally even overnight just continue to go in there. But yeah, that we did mention also this supply level on oil, and price reacted from it quite nicely. Yeah, so we are in an interesting phase, right? So again, my April setups, they are more for reversals. It's more of what we saw on the pound dollar, anticipation of that fake out, and then the turn that eventually happened yesterday. On the euro as well, kind of the move end up happening yesterday. On the pound card also yesterday. On the euro card as well, it was more yesterday. I was looking for a kind of a test today, but never happened. Price just continued to move down. So now I need to wait and see what's going to happen next. For anyone that is looking for a momentum setup now after the reversal, maybe today was the day for you guys to take advantage of it, since price just paused in the middle and it just continue. This oil as well, it's going to be interesting. Again, that was the move today. Now it's a bit in the middle. We'll see what's going to happen. And if price wants to come back into this level, I'm not going to be really interested in looking for longs in here, just because price actually respected perfectly this high, and in reality these lows are already a break of all these lows. So I'm a bit more bearish than bullish. Therefore, I'm not really. I could expect some reaction from this demand zone. I'm not going to be really looking for a buy in there at this point. Yeah, what else? The indices, they just turned. So again, we need a new cycle, or kind of a new phase of price to hold. The yen pairs as well, it was really nice, but it happened overnight, kind of that turn, kind of the reversal where price reacted from the low. Because it was a nice one. Price had been moving to downside for a few days now, quite aggressively. We had a really nice approach. So this approach is really good. And then actually the reaction was really nice, because it's one last push down, strong push down, and then it usually kind of signals the turn in here. So yeah, for tomorrow, we'll see. It's Friday. Not really big news. A bit in the UK. So curious to see how maybe pound can react from that level. Again, pound card, I'm expecting price to actually break eventually the demand zone, but maybe price will be around here, and maybe it's some kind of news, and then we have the retail and price turns to the upside. So we'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, at this point, again, the most, as I mentioned, the biggest reversals that we're looking for more for this week, it was on the pound dollar, eventually euro dollar as well, pound card and euro card. Those were the biggest ones. Yen pair to be just retracements. Oil is trading the extremes, and that's basically it. Even gold now is also moving down, properly breaking that level. And also, of course, the indices, right? So we know to set engulf down, so we're looking also for returns on the indices as well. Yeah, so we'll see. Again, tomorrow, of course, there's no stream. It's Friday. I'm not going to do the pre-market now. It's for Saturday. So I'll see you again on Sunday, and expect tomorrow a video. I'm going to release one video, how to trade double tops. It was a session that we did. Actually, it was a question from one of our members. It asked me, how does he trade? It was a specific question in terms of when should we expect the double top actually to hold, or should we expect price to just break the high and not hold the double top, right? So that's I believe one of the setups that most people trade is double tops or double bottoms. So I cover it in a specific way, what I usually look for when I trade double tops. So it's slightly maybe different from what usually see people mentioning what is a double top. I hope you get value from the video. Yeah, I'm going to revisit tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you Sunday. Thank you. Have a good weekend and a good end of the week. Bye bye. Thank you. Obrigado. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.